All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a part of Britain's nightlife that's, well, it's pretty much vanishing before our eyes, the strip club. But this isn't just some simple story about changing tastes or morals. Oh no, it's way more complicated. It's this whole tangled web of economics, stereotypes, and yeah, a whole lot of local politics. So, yeah, let's get right to it. The big question is, why? Why are these places just disappearing from our cities at such an insane rate? The answer, well, let's just say it's probably not what you're thinking. Okay, so first things first. Before we can really get into why they're disappearing, we gotta understand what's actually being lost. What are these places really like? So come on, let's step beyond that velvet rope. Journalist Rohan Banerjee put it perfectly. He said, as soon as you've stepped 1 foot in, you are in the thick of the action. And that really paints a picture, doesn't it? It's not a slow build-up. The second you walk through that door, boom, you're right there, immersed in this totally different world. So try to picture this, right? You walk into a club, maybe somewhere like Sugar and Spice in Norwich. It's all about the vibe. You've got this glossy furniture, comfy leather seats everywhere, lights flashing. It creates this really dynamic atmosphere. And then you see these discreet curtains leading off to more private booths. The whole place is basically designed to be a total escape from the outside world. And this is where we run smack into the first big myth. I think for a lot of people, the stereotype is this, sleazy, dark, men-only kind of place. But the reality? It can be totally different. A lot of these clubs are run like any other hospitality business. They're trying to be warm, welcoming, and they actually get a really diverse crowd, men and women. We're talking people from all walks of life, apparently even judges and surgeons. So you'd think with the scene that's this vibrant, even if it's a bit misunderstood, that these would be thriving businesses, right? A key part of the nightlife economy. But when you look at the numbers, they tell a completely different and pretty shocking story. And that's the real puzzle here, isn't it? If they can be these successful, professional, hospitable places, then why on earth are they vanishing? Well, the answer is pretty stark. Right now, across all of Britain, that's England, Scotland, and Wales, there are only about 150 licensed strip clubs left. Just 150. I mean, to put that into perspective, that's fewer clubs than there are major shopping centers in the UK. It's not a lot. And just look at the scale of this drop. In their heyday, there were something like 500 clubs across the country. 500. And today, we're down to 150. That number has been slashed by more than 2/3. This isn't just a slow decline, you guys. This is a full-blown collapse. So, the big question is, what is causing this collapse? And it turns out, it's not just one single thing. It's more like a perfect storm of several powerful forces all hitting at once. Yeah, it really is a perfect storm of challenges. I mean, first off, they're dealing with the same hospitality cost crisis that's hitting every pub and restaurant out there. Then you've got these deep-seated reputational struggles they're always fighting against. And of course, there's the huge rise of online entertainment. But while all of those things are major problems, there's one factor that's really pouring fuel on the fire: local council policies. Okay, so let's really dig into that, the policy battle. Because honestly, this is where the real fight for the industry's survival is being waged. See, here's the thing. Unlike a lot of other industries, there aren't UK-wide rules for strip clubs. It's all decided at the local council level. And that means a club in one city could be playing by a completely different rulebook than one just a few miles down the road. And some of these councils are actively trying to just get rid of them completely. And one of the cleverest and most effective tools they use for this is something called a nil-chap policy. Now, this isn't an outright ban because that could get messy with legal challenges. No, it's much more subtle. It's basically a policy of extinction by attrition. What it means is if an existing club closes its doors, for whatever reason, maybe the owner retires, that's it. The license is gone forever. No new clubs can open to replace it. So the number can only ever go down. It can never go back up. And all of this brings us to the final and maybe the most critical part of the story. Is this even fair? Is this a fair way to regulate an entire industry? There's a quote from the source material that just perfectly captures the industry's frustration. It goes, "If a roadside kebab van doesn't affect opinions of the Ritz, then why should one bad strip club ruin it for the rest of them?" And that really hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? In basically any other business, one bad apple doesn't lead to policies designed to wipe out the entire orchard. So, why is it different for strip clubs? And really, that's what this whole debate boils down to. It's a question of how to regulate. Should it be a collaborative process where regulators actually work with the clubs to make sure they're safe and well run? Or is a sweeping, one-size-fits-all policy like a nil cap the right way to go for an industry that, let's face it, some people just don't like? And so that leaves us with one last big question to think about. When these venues disappear from our cities for good, what is it that we're actually losing? Beyond the jobs, beyond the businesses themselves, what else vanishes along with them?